Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the OS Talk. We're doing this a little bit early this morning, so we're not used to having our big group here, but we do have a very special guest with us. We have one of the newest developers for the game, smoogipooo. How you doing, man?
Sup, I'm fine, thanks.
All right, and with us, instead of Charles445 today, because he's taking a nap because it's really early, we're going to have Deadbeat helping co-host today. How you doing, Deadbeat?
Not too bad. A bit tired as well, but I'll live.
All right, yeah, we'll make it through this endeavor. So basically, we'll hit you with the first the basic question that everybody gets. How did you find this game, Smoogie? How did you come across what is OS?
That's actually like a pretty long question, but
Oh, no
I used
problem.
to, before OS, I used to play StarCraft 2, and back then I used to be in a competition with a friend to get into what's called the Master League. The leagues work very similar to like League of Legends, so you have to maintain a high standing within your league, and then you get into the next one. So I was challenged to this competition, and then I lost it, and then I started tilting, and then the friend who challenged me suggested that I try this game out.
So it was definitely, it wasn't from any kind of YouTube or anything. It was just from a friend as you were playing StarCraft. And you said Master League, huh? That's a pretty impressive feat. I mean, if it's anything like the league system in League, like you said, there's no way I'd get there. I mean, I've been stuck in Bronze 5 for, Bronze, not Bronze 5. I'm not that bad, but I've been stuck there for quite some time. It's kind of hard to move up on your own.
It's a bit less brutal than League, I guess. You don't have to win X number of games in a row. You just have to keep winning, I guess. But yeah, over time, I kind of watched videos. I used to watch Cookiezy's Scarlet Rose, and that got me more into the game.
Does that mean that you didn't play like the original EBA game?
Nope.
Oh, wow, that's a first.
Oh, you're missing out, man. You are missing out.
I know, I've been told.
Okay, well, so you initially found out of the game through a friend in another game, and so I guess you started playing for it. But what necessarily got you into development for it? Because I know a lot of people that will be listening to this are probably going to ask, like, well, who's smoogipooo? We don't have any idea what's going on. Who's this guy? Why is he being interviewed? But if you check the changelog, everybody, you would know that he's been adding additions and helping with stuff around. The changelog is important, everybody. You should kind of pay attention to it. It does kind of help you so you're not sitting there going clueless, like, who's this?
Yeah, so from the start, I had a few programs. I had the AR11 Maker, and I think a bit later on the BPM Changer. And then I progressed to more interesting and larger projects such as that Twitch relay that I've taken down. And then I just like the community so much. I just requested to develop for us, and I got it.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Wait, so people didn't approach you, you approached them?
Yeah, it took me too long. I think I could have approached him earlier, but I was too scared.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Yeah, I mean, trust me, I know how you feel intimidation-wise. When we did the interview for Pepe a while back, like, I was sweating bullets right before it started. But I mean, once you get to talk to him, he's actually pretty reasonable and pretty cool guy.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was going to be like, your code's bad. No.
Yeah. When I very first came with him with this idea for creating media stuff, like doing talks and Academy episodes and stuff, I thought it was going to be like shot down. Well, not so much the Academy, because he had been wanting that. He had been asking for that. But this whole thing, what this has become and what people have started enjoying, I didn't think that this would even get anywhere as to where it's been so far.
I agree.
Well, Deadbeat, as my co-host, I know you're a little bit new to this. Would you like to ask one of the questions as well?
Yeah, you were talking about the some of the earlier projects. Sorry, you talked about some of the earlier projects that you developed. Which one would you say is your favorite so far?
I've stopped development on this one, but it was the replay analyzer. It was It's in the Smoogie Compendium thread in the general development forums, but that was really the first time that I kind of got to work in a team, and it was very fun. But
And
the
I think I
Twitch
remember seeing
relay
that
was
one.
also pretty fun as well. I like managing the server and stuff.
And the Twitch relay, now that was basically, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't that the thing that allowed them to speak into Twitch chat without actually having to speak in Twitch chat?
Yep, they could just message me in game, and then it would transfer the message to their Twitch chat.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. How often did that get used? Did it become an issue where you were getting buttloads of PMs a day, or like did they have to set it up and sync it, or did it go directly through your client to set it to the Twitch? Or
It didn't get used very much, but when it did get used, it got used heavily. Like the traffic wasn't constant; it had peaks, and I had to limit the amount of messages I could send.
Was that busy? Wow.
Sorry,
Was it that busy?
it wasn't busy. It's just like it peaked a lot.
And for our next question here, have you thought about adding some of the programming or some of your ideas that you have so far to the client? Like, have you gotten that far in the development scene where you're able to, amend some of your changes? I know you've done some. If you check the changelog, we've seen some changes that you've done, or bug fixes and stuff like that. We've seen that. But is there anything that you're really like, of course, don't spoil anything if you've got something real big waiting, but is there anything that you've like really wanted to add into the client?
I have a few changes in mind, but I want to focus on Mania right now, and Mania is a lot of bug fixes mostly, so I don't know when I'll get around to any other personal changes.
Yeah. And I mean,
Just speaking of Mania, was that something that was assigned to you, or did you volunteer to pick up on that?
I volunteered and then kind of just progressed. Basically, from the start, the first thing I did, or one of the first things I did, was I just stripped out the entire Mania editor because I didn't like it at all.
Oh man.
I mean, no, he's got a point though. I mean, it's been globally accepted that the Mania editor is like incredibly like what the crap to use. It's definitely not the most family friendly editor in there. When I was making the Academy episode on how to use it, like literally, Peppy approached me and he's like, "How did you use this?" And I'm like, "Well, I mean, it's difficult, but it's not impossible." I mean, obviously, you could see with like the Mania World Cup that we've been doing, all these great user-created maps. I mean, it's very possible to make it. It's just, it could be so much easier, and I think that's what Smoogie and Peppy was probably aiming for there, is to, create easy access and simplicity on top of it, because right now it's not so simplistic. It reminds me of the old school DDR editor in Step Mania. That thing was just it's not good.
There's the user simplicity, but then there's also the more back-end simplicity. Like Mania's really rooted deep in OS, and there's not very much flexibility for it in its current state, especially in the editor. And what Peppy and I want to do is just change that immediately.
Yeah. And
I haven't actually really had a look at it, to be honest.
Yeah. Not to leak too much, but do you, like, as a general question, like, how long do you foresee it taking before the editor becomes easier for everyone to use there? Like, of course, you don't have to give any kind of set dates, just like a roundabout, what you might feel that... are you looking for sometime next year, maybe mid-season next year? What's your kind of estimated project date?
I mean, I have to work on the skinning for now, because again, Mania is rooted very deeply, and that needs to be improved first and foremost. But after that, I'll be working on the editor mostly, apart from bug fixes here and there. So I don't think it should take until like next year or halfway through next year. It'll probably, I don't like to make promises, but I want to get it done by the end of this year.
That'd be pretty cool, actually.
And it's completely understandable if it doesn't, because like things like this, development and everything, it definitely gets hard. And Peppy got hit with a ton of questions about the to host mode and if it's actually going to happen at the end of this year or into next year and stuff. And the best thing you can do is, like you said, like you'd like to, but no promises. And that's probably the best way to, you know, put it into, because, you know, you've got all this stuff and then you have to take into consideration other people that are helping work with said project and, you know, times and time zones. Like even with this interview, we had a little bit of problems getting it started. We actually had a date previously, but we had to move it because I needed sleep.
It's a big task, there's no denying it, but I mean, I'm already spending 60, 70, 80% of my time that I generally use for like, I don't know, schoolwork or whatever, on us. So I think it can be done.
So
That's a lot of time.
yeah, and speaking about time and stuff, that can pull to the next question actually. So do you actually put a lot of time into playing Osmania, or do you? Well, obviously you like it, but how often do you play it?
I don't. I'm not really good at Osmania, to be honest. I mean, I can play the easy 4K maps, but I'm nothing special. I don't have the time to practice anymore, so I just play Catch the Beat whenever I want to listen to music and do rhythm.
Ah, that's good. I like that you play Catch the Beat. So I'll ask you another question that's not really on here for a moment. With the Catch the Beat, what do you think of the new character design?
I like it. Is there a way to download it? I still use my custom skin version.
Oh, okay. So, basically, ooh, you know what? I don't think there is a way to download it, and that's sad because, like, definitely, if you're using a custom skin, then you can't really see the new character, and that should probably be fixed. That's another thing that we could do at a later time, but Deadbeat, definitely remind me. We need to set up a download for Yuzu so people can download them and use them in their custom skins.
Alright, I can give you the file.
I mean,
now
I guess
for it.
I think you can delete the character, but in your
Yeah,
custom skin.
yeah. I mean, if you were to delete the Ryuta that's there, I think Yuzu would pick up. I don't know if the animations would switch over properly. I don't know if it's set to default with the animations, but you know, stuff like that is definitely can be changed. But for our next question, though, what kind of plans do you have for Mania? Are you planning to try to do any new features, or is it just a general rework and revamp of the current code?
It's a revamp, but I want to do it in a way that the community can interact with it. So I want to grab the community's feedback whenever I can, really.
I'm sure they'll love you for that so much.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what new features to implement, really, so I'm just hoping people request things. The feature request forum is a big help for that, and I generally check that.
I've seen a few threads regarding things like ESV changes, I think it was. Like there are so many threads about new Osmania requests. I could probably just throw them at you for the next week or so.
Proper skinning for 4 key arrows so you can literally make it look like DDR.
I do
Please.
keep a list, so whenever I see that there's an item incomplete on that list, I go back to it and check it. So
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure
yeah,
there's a
throw
thread
what
somewhere
you
for.
want at me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a request somewhere for 9K support.
I already have 9K support.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of the key supports and stuff like that, but definitely, like you said, you're making adjustments to the skinning and stuff. So does that mean, like, in the future we might be able to actually see proper, like, DDR skinning support? Like, I know that a lot of people are probably going like, ew, DDR or whatever, but I played a lot of DDR, and when I do play 4-key mania, I have to flip it. I have to have it coming up and not down, or I can't do it. But I'm so used to playing with arrows that it's just really weird to see just the little ticks. So I would really like to see, like, the ability, like, somebody made a DDR skin, but they said due to skin limitations they can only have one arrow pointing one way instead of it you know, having up, down, left, right. And as for, somebody was going pad support, and technically you could still map a DDR pad. Like if you have one of the Xbox 360 ones, that had the X input, the USB, you can definitely map that to the keys already. So that's
So
something.
speaking about that joystick thing, I was actually warned the other day that one of my friend's controllers didn't work, and I have to look into that.
Oh,
But
what type
yeah.
of controller was he using?
I'm not exactly sure.
Well, I know X input seems to work all right. You kind of have a little bit of problems when you start getting into the like off Logitech brands and stuff. Because one of my friends plays Mania with a PlayStation 3 controller, and he's just hacked it to do X input. And I mean, I don't see how people play Mania with controllers, but I mean, you know, he does.
Yeah,
He plays...
there's other programs like Joy2Key that helps you with this, but people don't like those programs. I don't know, some people might see it as like a hacky fix.
Yeah.
Like,
well, definitely getting more native support for controllers would be a good thing, I do believe.
If I could just quickly
I
go back to
agree.
that DDR thing. I remember a while ago, this was probably earlier on in the year, I was talking to, I think it was Touch Fluffy Tail, and he was talking about how awesome it would be to have different different elements, or a different skin element for each individual lane. So each individual column could have a different image for the hit object.
yeah, I was thinking just yesterday that I wanted to make every single column independent, and that would actually help a lot of things on my end as well. So yeah, I plan to do that.
Yeah, 'cause if you
Alright.
did that, it'll probably make it easy to have like a DDR style skin.
Definitely
think
would
so
be
anyway.
nice. Yeah, okay, Deadbeat. Go ahead and get that next question out for us. Because you don't listen to audio cues or typing. I typed you, I told you you get the next one.
Hey, I did ask the next one. You mentioned you were gonna redo the Taiko, not the Taiko, the Mania editor. Do you plan on making a Taiko or CTB editor when you're done with the Mania one?
Yep. I don't know, like the style that I want to use for the media editor is basically going to incorporate the way the game is drawn inside the play mode to the editor, so it's going to act and look and feel the same way. And I want to do the same thing for CTB and Taiko.
Yeah, because I know both the Taiko and CTB community have wanted a specific editor for a while now. So I imagine they'll be overjoyed to hear this.
Yeah, so like, when you look into like saying specific for the editor, you're talking about like changing the whole thing. Like, say for example, if you were to adjust the Catch the Beat editor, instead of seeing circles or whatnot, we'd have the little fruits there, and then you'd be able to set the hyper jumps. And you're talking about like maybe track the hyper jumps as like within Mania, you'd be seeing the actual proper notes and not these weird circles and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't imagine mapping Mania with circles, so I don't know how CTB and Taiko mappers manage to map themselves.
I think the converting's a bit easier and a bit easier to understand.
Well, with Catch the Beat and everything, like literally you just get rid of the up-down axis and you just look at what's coming straight to the side. So I mean, technically it's okay, but like if you actually made the editor to where all the objects could only be placed like, you know, where they need to be placed, that would probably make things easier, I think, to a degree, and especially if you could set them as fruits. I mean, it's little stuff. It's like just little visual quirks, but that kind of stuff is appreciated, and I know a lot of people that like devote to that one specific game mode. They'll appreciate that the editor's getting a facelift in the game mode that they're looking for, you know?
It would just look more intuitive to the newer players. I can't go into the CTB editor and know what's going on right now, so
Yeah. Okay.
Not much of an editor, so.
Yeah, it's definitely just a little bit of a... It's just basically the standard editor, and it's like, hey, it's going to convert, and wherever you've put it at is, boom, that's what's going to happen. And
it's a big step up in difficulty from the standard editor.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see how you'd map the CTB spinners though, because it's just banana balls.
Yeah, I think it'll probably just be a banana. And it'll be like, how long do you want the banana to last?
Maybe, I don't know.
Simple.
Yeah, but we're getting a little bit off the topic of Mania here. And so, fruits aside, and aside from originally what Pepe's looking to see come out of Mania now in the entire game, is there anything you specifically really want to see added into the game? Is there something that, like, you're like, we need this, it needs to be done, why has it not been done yet?
I want to see my windowed OS background thing in the game. I have that in the works, but I just need to figure out.
Please.
But I just need to figure out a few quirks with it.
Windowed OS and do you mind explaining that a little bit? Because I guess I need to look up a little bit more, but I'm kind of on the windowed.
It copies your background from your desktop into OS, so it looks like a transparent window.
Oh, neat.
I've been using a similar program, and it works so well. It is amazing.
So that's just for the main menu, correct? It doesn't like actually transparency the entire game. Like there's just a bunch of circles floating in your desktop, right?
Yeah, it's just the desktop background.
Because that would be really kind of cool, but at the same time, like, could you imagine that, like, it's just being completely transparent and the playfield just kind of popping up on your desktop?
I don't know if I want to have the background inside the play area, but...
Exactly. I mean, that would be
We need
crazy.
a borderless windowed mode. Borderless windowed mode.
Borderless window mode?
That would be sick.
You know, that you could kind of spoof that right now. Like, if you have double monitors,
yeah,
you could set one to borderless, and then if you turn off the other monitor, sometimes, like, this is probably going to be considered a bug, and watch it be fixed tomorrow after, because Pepe will probably listen to this, but if you flop around with the monitors every once in a while, what'll happen eventually is you'll get a small, like, because my resolution on my main monitor is 1920 by 1080, and the resolution on my side monitor is 1600 by 900. And what I'll do is I'll borderless window the 16 by 900 screen, and then I'll cut it off. And then if you're lucky, sometimes OS will glitch out, and then you'll have a borderless windowed 16 by 900 screen in the center of your 1080p monitor. And it's just kind of like,
cool.
It kind of just chills there.
I'll get to fixing that one right away.
Killjoy.
I could totally see that. Like, be like, thanks for that, bug fixed.
But yeah, I mean, having a borderless windowed mode would be pretty cool, especially if you're gonna have something like that.
Yeah. Okay. So we're hitting close to the 30-minute mark here. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is we do have a lot more people than I thought for 3:30 in the morning, at least in my time zone, here to ask some questions.
Do you mind if I ask one more first?
Oh, go for it. Go for it.
So I'm sure you, as a lot of people have noticed, Pepe posted an early screenshot of what the new profile page is going to look like on the new site. Have you seen that yet?
Yep.
What do you think about it so far?
I think it looks good. It's gone through a revision, re-revision. But I'm supposed to be involved in the development of the new website as well. I'm just not active with it. I think it looks cool.
Yeah, because I saw the whole page, and it definitely does look a lot better than the current one.
It's beautiful.
The entire new website will look beautiful.
Oh, it definitely looks beautiful. Way back in a land before time, I kind of got a nice view at the overview, the shell, I guess I'd like to say, because there's no way, I guarantee it's probably not anywhere near the same. This was like 4 or 5 months ago when I looked at it, so I can imagine all the stuff that's changed since then.
Oh, yeah, it's changed quite a bit from what it originally was.
All right then. We do have a question from Kianko to kind of keep traditions here. She usually asks the first user question. So, Smoogie, we're going to go ahead and let her ask you the first user question. And go ahead and take it away when you're ready, Kianko.
Hello.
Hey.
Okay, so aside from doing coding from OSU, are there any other games or projects that you have done coding on?
Not really. I mean, I'm in computer science at uni, so that's the only other coding that I do in my spare time. Oh, I wouldn't say spare time, but whenever I have to do it.
Yeah, and then I was about to ask next, like, then since you haven't really coded for any other games or projects, like, in free time, like, how you learn to do it, because I know some people have independently learned how to do coding and haven't had, like, classes on it.
I like doing these sort of fun projects that don't really achieve anything, don't really go anywhere. Not necessarily games, but just tools. So that's what I did. And yeah, back when I started developing for OS for the first time, it was like 2-3 years ago, I actually used to be a Visual Basic programmer, and it took me just about 6 months to get used to C# without really knowing much, just doing tools and stuff.
Okay. Well, thank you for that question, Kiyanko. Now, if anybody else has a question here in the chat, feel free to just type something there. We'll unmute you so you'll have talk power so you're able to speak. And the best part about this is, like, with it being quiet here, we could always just cut any audio. So if somebody hasn't got around to asking, that's fine. We'll just cut this section and then go right into the next question. So anybody have any questions here? Smoogie, feel free to, like, punch your friends in the face to make them ask questions. I do not
ask
know.
questions.
Like, I kind of figured, like, I know most of the time we have issues with getting questions, but it's like super early, and Rubber Rat doesn't have any questions because, you know, he's good at that. Marcin doesn't have any.
I could ask.
Oh, yeah.
I could ask my obligatory question.
Oh boy.
I don't like where this is going.
So Smoogie.
I don't like where this is going.
Don't worry, Deadbeard. So Smoogie, do you cosplay?
Oh god.
No, I want to, but I don't have the time to make a good cosplay.
Wow, so we actually got...
Who would you cosplay then, if you had the time to cosplay?
I don't really know. Like some generic male character, probably.
Cosplay Yuzu then.
That would actually be kind of funny.
I mean, generic, like, probably like some school thing as well.
Ouch.
Like...
She also just called Yuzu generic. My feels.
I did not call Yuzu generic.
I think it was implied.
I wasn't trying to.
Alright. Okay, well, the chat's still pretty active, just not in question, Brims. So, actually, we'll probably...
I got something.
Okay, go ahead.
I was actually talking to, I'll be right about this, just after the mobile, after you left. In the Mania, the hit numbers, like the 300 and 200 and stuff, I was thinking it might be pretty cool to incorporate that into the flashes here when you hit the actual objects. What do you think about that?
Maybe, I don't know.
It seemed like it might seem interesting. I'm not sure how well it would actually work.
So you mean like the Mania stage lights for every time you hit a, like when you activate it? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
like if you hit a 300, the stage light would go like rainbow, and if you hit a 300, the stage light would go gold?
Yeah, like, an optional thing.
Yeah, that would definitely...
I guess that's possible. That's
it
more
definitely
like
have to be optional.
I'll be Rat's thing. But...
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
it would look
Painter
pretty
Man's
cool.
thing. Oh man, Combo Fire. Rest in peace, Combo Fire.
I never used that at all.
I used it all the time, and I was so sad when it left.
See, I turned it off really fast because I wouldn't play CTB, and you cannot play CTB with Combo Fire on. Just no, you can't do it.
I think it was a joke, but when I joined the dev team, I got assigned to remaking the Combo Fire texture. I haven't done anything on it, so...
Well, go do something on it.
It's gonna be...
Go do it right now. Like,
wasn't
no, I'm not really good with like effects and...
Just drop that interview, drop the interview, and go make Combo Fire. I don't care how you do it. Make it Pixel Fire, make it whatever. Just, I need it back. I need it back in my life.
Combo Fire still does exist, by the way. You can change it via the config. Yeah, change it via the config.
You can adjust it via config, but like that's one of the bad things. Like, people are also going like, what is Combo Fire? Like, I mean, it's just, it was great. Like, I mean, if you could just adjust it, you know, like to where it's a different texture. I understand the texture for Combo Fire right now is kind of bad, but like I definitely think something could be created that would basically be like the same ideal as Combo Fire. Maybe like instead of Combo Fire, just have like Sparkly Fire, or I don't know, like just something that like makes the playfield feel more alive when you're doing real good.
You know, because when it got removed from the client, I actually heard something about it getting replaced with something else, but I hadn't heard anything past that.
Yeah, it never really got past that, to be quite honest.
Yeah,
I have pretty terrible
and the whole
ideas
thing just
regarding
died.
these. I'm not really good at like thinking about new effects and stuff, so that's why I treat it as a joke. But apparently, seeing the chat,
Yeah,
it wasn't meant as a joke.
no, like we would really like to see something. I know I would. I mean, some people, like you've got those people that take the game and they want to do the best possible and they disable everything, and I can't do that. And when I stream, I play with full video. I play with a really hard to read skin, apparently, by what people say. And they're like, how do you do that? How do you play like that? And I'm like, well, that's how I learned how to play. I mean, you know, I like to, you know, enjoy the map as it was intended to be enjoyed, with all the bells and whistles attached. And I don't like to strip it down. And when Combo Fire got stripped away, I was sad, because my favorite thing about it is when you got to that 500 combo, the flame went blue and it got real big, and it's like, oh yeah, you're doing good now.
And then
I
you
was
missed.
like, ooh, shiny, and then stared at it.
Yeah, and then
Failed.
like, but you can't even do that anymore, because it's like, where's the shiny? There's no shiny no more. But
It would have been cool if you could skin the texture. That would be
yeah,
awesome.
but eventually I think something will be added to it for like a visual spark. I mean, us as a whole has been visually getting better day in, day out. You know, it's kind of a giant work in progress thing, and it'll continue to get more pretty as times go on, I do believe.
I'll
But,
just leave Rubber Rat to do all the shader stuff.
Yeah, I'd like for him to, and I do ask him. I'm like, hey man, this, that, this, and the other, and he's like, what do you smell like? And I'm like, what?
Oh, that was amazing.
Yeah, so
It came out of nowhere.
yeah. Oh, okay. So we do actually have a question here. Sikyo Na says, do you have an inspiration for a feature in other rhythm games you would want to replicate on Osumania?
That's a good question.
Actually, I was directed to a video in a forum post today regarding the Taiko multiplayer thing, and
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I want to display all the players in the Taiko multiplayer play area.
Hmm.
I think the same thing could be done in a similar way to the Mania's multiplayer, especially for tag. It would be pretty cool to have some people work together with different keys.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like with Taiko multiplayer, you could have all the lanes on the same screen. And
Yeah, like the actual Taiko games.
oh man, that would be crazy.
Yeah, a lot of people are hyping about it already.
Marcin kind of brings in that kill fun here, as he's like, the delay would be too large, but that's definitely something that could probably be worked on, I would imagine.
Yeah, the latency would be
It's a true
pain to
problem.
work around.
Oh, definitely a true problem. I could totally see that. Like, I don't understand how we managed to even get tag to work with, you know, the way the delay and everything works on that. Oh, okay. And Rubber Rat actually does have a question. You know, he could have actually, you know, just asked to speak, so there'd be audio, but it's cool. His question is, what do you plan on working after you've been satisfied with Mania?
Directly, the Taiko and CTB editors.
Yeah, we kind of
And
brushed
then-
up on that a bit earlier, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then move on to like the multiplayer stuff.
And we
Maybe.
also have a question from Igo Krunk too. I didn't catch that. He thought, what are your thoughts about the harder Mania maps being ranked right now?
I like them. I like all Mania maps, not just the harder ones. To me, the harder maps are just like, ooh, these players are really good.
Just
Yeah.
when people play Mania, hurts my fingers.
And then we do have another question Actually, we're starting to
You
get quite
people
a few.
can request to actually ask these questions yourself. You
Um,
can give your talk power.
Okay, so the first, I'm not even gonna try to say your name this time. The first question comes from the person that I unfortunately butchered their name. What do you think about?
Konya.
Yeah, there you go. What do you think about slider velocity?
I personally like it. I don't know the community's opinions on it, but I've heard it's like pretty terrible. I
Well-
like it though. It provides some interesting gameplay.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, with that, I mean, freezes and stops like that were kind of apparent in other games of the same nature, so I think it's okay. I have seen some people do it a little bit over the top, but definitely that's just kind of trial and error. You know, you just kind of go through and you continue to do the same thing, and you know, you just play the map over and over until you get the hang of it. And a lot of people expect it to be hand fed to them, and just, you know, if I can't read this the first time, there's something wrong. So I don't really think it's that big of an issue myself either. Mech has a question for you. He's like, what do you think of 2014 mapping?
Standard mapping, I hate it. I'm not going to
Ouch.
mention any names, but yeah.
I'm with Smoogie on this one.
All right.
I really just don't like the new generation mapping.
Regarding the previous question with like side velocity, if you see me online, I'm usually just for fun watching autoplay AIAE, however you say that map, or April number 2, and those are pretty cool slider velocity maps, in my opinion.
All right. Well, okay. Well, it seems like Kiyanko has another question, and then after that, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this one up, everybody. So we'll go ahead and let that question be said.
Can Mania be overmapped?
Nope.
Ooh. Oh, you don't think that Mania can be overmapped?
I mean, it is possible, but I don't think it can be overmapped to the extent that standard is.
Yeah, I agree with you there, because Mania uses layering as to where, you know, standard is supposed to be following one mainline melody beat, you know?
Yeah.
All right.
It's a different mapping structure.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for your question there, Kiyanko, and thank you, Smoogie, for your time. Thank you, Deadbeat, for helping with the hosting, and I also want to thank everyone else that woke up extremely early to be here for this one. We do appreciate it. We'll
if I
still
could just sneak one more in.
Oh,
Can I
go
sneak
ahead.
one more in?
Yeah, that's fine.
Before you started Mania, you had a few projects that weren't finished. Do you plan on going back and finishing them at some point?
I'm at least planning to open source the replay analyzer soon, but I'll still be acting the team leader, similar to how Peppy does OS. But I mean, I'm still continuing development for some of my other projects, completely independently of OS, like the beatmap API, and the beatmap speed, the BPM speed changer.
And
But I
that's
don't
pretty
have
cool.
any new projects.
All right. Well, thank everybody so much, and this is a great interview. It opens up a lot about Mania and some of the things that smoogipooo is doing. And if you're
And now people
interested
know who
in
Smoogipooo is.
yeah, and if you're interested in learning more about Smoogie here, you could always check out his user page. He also has some links to what he is working on. We'll go ahead and put those in the description of the video. And remember, Rhythm's only a click away, and everybody here from the OS Talk will see you guys real soon.